How's it going, everybody? Wherever you will listen to this podcast right here. This is episode 119 of the TempahZone podcast with your host, me, Amir Max, and that's all facts. Yeah, man. Episode 119. And ladies and gentlemen, my special guest on today's episode is somebody who's been on this podcast before. All the way back in October 24th of 2019. That was episode 48, man.
Damn.
I know, right?
That's 48 and 119 is so off. It's like, I don't even know.
Yeah, man. I can't believe
there's
that's
no lucky number there.
Yeah, right. Yeah, there's nothing. Yeah, no, yeah. 48 and 119 is not really anything significant I can really point out with those numbers. Nah, man. If you can find it, if any listeners can find that, let me know.
Right.
But my guest right here, y'all, is a super talented rapper, which is how I found out about him. And then I realized he has a whole bunch going on with his promotions and getting the word out there with all of that, man. It's been really dope to see what you've been doing with Show Me What You Got and everything pertaining with your brand, bro. Ladies and gentlemen, I got Ace the Truth in the Zoom building. Ace.
See, I started off with Show Me What You Got, baby. You already know we here. Yes, sir. I'm flooding everybody's neighborhood with this. Anywhere, bus stops, train stops, corner stores, just a little promo. I mean, a lot of people think these things don't matter, but it's little things that matter, you know what I'm saying? So I always, I try to acknowledge it. So stickers is one, flyers another, and the whole nine. But appreciate you having me, my guy. Episode 119. We're going to make this number sound very unique.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying? But appreciate you having me, man. Word.
Yeah, man, absolutely, dude. We had to make this one happen, bro. And when I started the podcast back up, you were one of the first people who reached out to me, and I was like, "Word, you beat me to it." I was gonna reach out to you, honestly, but you beat me to it already. So I was glad to hear about that, man. I feel like obviously. I've seen you like just spontaneously, just out about in the streets, man. Just outside the clubs of downtown Boston, which is really dope. Which was one of the reasons why you're one of the people I was gonna hit up, because I was like,
word, definitely, man. It was good vibes. Like anytime everybody see me outside, I'm more than likely enjoying myself or having a good time. Either or, I'm not really. Or you might just see me just walking by, getting my mind right. I'm really not like someone who do too much when I'm outside. I go to one point to another. So
yeah, man, no, that's dope. I mean, it's clear as day you've been moving around, dude. The last time you were on the podcast was 2019, like literally like 3 years ago. Everything was so different then, man. I know this sounds like a very loaded big question, but how much has changed since then, man? I know we went through the pandemic in 2020 and 2021 was a weird year, but how much progress has been made in that time, would you say?
I would say, I'm going to start off with the honest truth first, then I go to what the reality is. The truth is, from the time that I was on there, I remember one of the prime things that I was saying is I wanted to release my project and I wanted to get my album out and it's going to come out this time. This shit never came out. You know what I'm saying?
Dude, first of all, like props for you just to admit it. Like, I was talking shit with my album and it never dropped. A lot of it never dropped, but all for, I guess, for now, because I don't even want to talk about when it's going to drop. I don't want to say nothing. I just know that I have a tour coming up in January 2023. It's a 20-city tour. And, that kind of brought a spark into the marketing for my project, because my biggest thing about an album was, I know so many people that drop albums and drop big projects, but the marketing and the outreach of their project is always not as far as they would like, or they just don't know how to go above it or towards it, So I'm more comfortable knowing the market for me, because I've been able to travel in certain cities and get acclimated with the nightlife, get acclimated with just like small businesses and people who I just organically meet going out and just clubbing or going to social mixers and shit like that. So I'm confident now that I know how to retract those steps and kind of like data entry and push that back out. I don't remember, 2019 yet. So I brought that year, I don't know if on your show, if I brought Jadakiss yet, but I ended up bringing Jadakiss
2019, I believe, 2020.
Yeah.
And then I brought Joel Santana last year, 2021, along with Shay Noah from the Trust Fam, Steph G out in Brooklyn. We had Terminology on there. So shout out to Mark Merrin, Big Cuz. We did that show together. So a lot of those people that I've gained relationship with, they never really knew that I rap. Like, they knew I rap because I told them. Like, Joel's hosted a compilation for me that's online right now. It's called the Black Eyes Compilation. People can go download that. I had him host, so I'm on there. So, you know, he knew I was an artist there. Jada Kiss, when I brought him out to Boston, we worked out. You know, like, again, we worked out in the neighborhood. We brought out Giant. He never knew I rapped until he came to my crib after the workout, and I'm just playing people's music. Like, I'm playing Moneybagg, you know, I'm playing everybody. And all this time is going on. I'm playing D-Block records, things that I grew up with, being a fan at the moment. And then I was like, yo, hey, you got to play your music, bro. You feel me? And I just played like one joint. Then I played Monster. Then I played About Mine. And he was just like, yo, fire, fire. So I'm ready to market who I really am as an artist. Like, people been knowing Austin Castro. Austin Castro, that's my birth name. You know, that's what my parents gave me. But that's the person who had to be to start promoting so I could shake hands, rub the right shoulders, because Ace of Truth needed that. And sometimes we need a manager, but really what it is we need to convert our mindset for who we would like to represent us. You know what I'm saying? And if we don't have somebody at that moment, just like you would go to court, you'll say, fuck it, I'm going to represent myself, you know? And but you got to click on a different gear. So on to album to promotion, that's why I started putting my time into promotion, because I really wanted to learn. Like, I was fortunate to work with a couple of promoters. You know, some went good, some went bad, but like, I ain't gonna lie, I really appreciate the experience that I got from both angles, because as an artist and a rapper, we don't put ourselves in that market. We're always trying to be pushed out the market. So we gotta start knowing how it feels to give people the hospitality, that encouragement, that just that belief that we all as artists are a community and we're all trying to do the same thing, but we all have different angles, you know, just like religion and stuff like that. So so that's the truth. The truth was the album ain't come out yet. It's definitely gonna drop this year because I have a tour coming on. I can't do a tour with no album.
New music. Yeah, you gotta have some music out there. Yeah.
so that's why it's going to happen post-show. You know what I'm saying? Which the purpose became big. I want to say shout out to my guy True Wells, Mattapan's Golden Boy. He brought me on board along with a couple other Boston artists on the tour. Again, 20-city tour starts January 6th. First show in Minneapolis, Minnesota second. Chicago, Detroit, Cincinnati, Ohio, New York. And what's dope is, like, I'm performing at SOBs. I'm performing at Big Night Live, January 13th in Boston. So
let's go.
Special guests are going to be coming out. But again, all this is coming not from a promoter's aspect, all as an artist. But Ace of Truth got the experience with Austin on the promotion. So I'm going to be, there's going to be some things, merch coming out, you know, flyers, posters. I got a consultant I'm going to be working with that I'm hiring that's going to be helping me get booked for features and videos and meet and greets and just the whole thing. It's time to market me as the artist full time, and I'm excited. So just be on the lookout for that. You know, the music's dropping, videos is dropping. I'm excited because I feel like I really get to pop my shit, like, as an artist. Like, I really... Like, people know me for singles, people know me for hopping on records, doing ciphers, but me as a whole, as a bundle, as a project, I'm gonna fuck it up because, like, I got mad records. Like, I got mad records. I do. I already lived out. I kind of created a lifestyle for my market, being in Miami, being in Seattle, being in Houston, being in Charlotte, DC, all these places I'm going musically. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Atlanta, going to record out there with producers in Charlotte, producers in Seattle, just did a song with a dude from San Francisco. All that is because I'm going out places. I'm just like they say, outside.
You really touching that. You really outside.
Yeah, I'm really outside. Not outside the crib, not outside.
You named like all the major cities in America, bro.
Yeah, you feel me? So, and I love it because I go by myself. I travel a lot by myself, you know, to gain that experience, to gain that mentality of knowing how to adapt and adjust and stuff. So, you know, shout out to all the artists that understand what I'm saying. Like, we really have to create our own market, and we can't do it from home, and it can't be from just one area. It's got to be like what cities are receptive to you. They don't even got to know you as a rapper. They just got to know who you are, like meeting you. And people like your music just off who you are, you know? So that's where I'm at with it right now. But no music, no project out right now, but a lot of things done in between.
Yeah, man. And, you know, it's so clear that you have a plan and it's obviously working for you. You got the whole tour going on next year. But just everything I took off from what you said there, because I feel like there was a lot of just gems in that. One thing I definitely have to ask you, though, I have a podcast, but I'm also an artist myself.
Yes.
I'd be lying if I said that this podcast is also something that I use to get my name out there, but it's also something I use to support other artists because I generally want to create some sort of community amongst the people I'm around to spread their name and spread my name. It's like a two-way street. You wash my hand, I wash yours. Now, when you started your promotion and doing everything you're doing with that, was that something you had in mind when you started it, or was it something more to it, like as a passion? You said to do it, you just do it.
When I started it, I wanted to tap in. I wanted to really, really tap in and find out what's my market, where can I capitalize, where my personality could show, my social skills could be in effect. And I kind of started correlating it when I started to realize the benefits that other artists were gaining from what I was providing. Not saying they were using me, but we're all here to be used, you know? So I was cool with that. I was like, damn, I'm over here connecting these people. I need to start connecting myself as an artist a little more. So then I went to Miami. I think what really geared up for me this year was when I went to Miami last year. And then this year, I went out there literally just to go tap in. Like, I went to spring break. I went to Memorial Day. I went to Labor Day. I went to, I worked as a bartender at the Grand Prix, F1 Grand Prix in Miami, which usually happens in Europe, but this year happened in Miami.
Oh, shoot.
Man, that brought so much momentum to me, you know, like gaining confidence, being in Miami, being around all these other motivated, successful up-and-coming entrepreneurs, driving nice cars, being in nice Airbnbs, connecting you, telling you, yo, I get jet ski for this. Like, we all been there. I'm not exclusive in this. You know what I'm saying? Like, we all been there. But it's like, what happens when you see that person, you go again? What happens when you go and you meet up with them? You guys go daytime drinking, you catch a vibe, and then you're building these relations through just being there, because they go there all the time, but you're just a tourist. But they actually really know the city. So that's what that, and then, so I shout out to the KODs in Miami because I do promotion for them, you know, all the time, full time. You know, I go down to Miami, it's all love. Shout out to Club Live, Miami. Just being out there, you know, I ain't famous. So when I go out there, best believe I act like it. You know what I'm saying? Like, shit.
You got your connections down.
Yeah, I bring who I gotta be, you know? Like, I ain't over here trying to be all humble. For what? Humble didn't bring me down here. Ambition, hunger, determination brought me down here. So they got to feel that same energy. So that's what got me going and running, and just, man, just hit your market, find your market. I went to Houston 3 times last year. Houston is super lit. You know, like anybody that's been to Texas, they know that Houston's lit. Like, whew.
Texas like, overall is just different, man.
Houston, there's so many successful Black people just roaming around the streets, making money and being bosses. I seen a group of 7 SRTs. You know what I'm saying? SRTs, Hellcats, okay? All females. I was like, what?
That's crazy. Like, that's something you don't see.
On, man. Like,
that's not that common. Let's be real. That's real shit though. Yeah, absolutely, man. Yeah, dude, it's clear as day that you know, making these moves has work for you in your favor, and obviously your connections have built like a snowball effect almost. And you've traveled to a lot of places, man, but I have to ask you, and you can avoid answering this question if it messes up any ties you have, but I gotta ask you, where do you enjoy going most? I know you're a big Boston guy and that's where you're from, but where do you enjoy traveling to the most? I know you got a favorite
I told
spot.
you already, Miami.
It's Miami? Okay. I'm just making sure. Yeah, okay.
Miami is dope. I just came back from DR. Anybody who ain't been to DR? Oh my God. Oh my God. There's some beautiful, beautiful Afro-Latina women out there. I mean, all Latinas in general, but when you get to Santo Domingo, everybody is darker than me and you. You heard? The majority.
For real.
The majority. If you light skin, you look like a minority.
Yeah, you show up there, they'll be like, yeah, you're not, I see something,
yeah, you know what I'm saying? But I mean, in the Dominican Republic, you know, the colorism ranges, so it's not going to be like that. But like, even when I went to Cuba 2 years ago, Cuba is predominantly black.
Yeah, true. Very true.
I'm not saying there's no light skins. You know, there's the pitbulls, the blue eyes, light skins, but everybody's wrapped around the blacks.
Yeah.
Because that's where it's at, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
That's where the culture's at. Just like white people wrapped around the blacks. That's where the culture's at. Like, if people go to other countries and see the value in the hood in another country, then believe that that's what they do to us in America. So if anything, we need to start treating our neighborhoods like a little tourist lane. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like this is where all the cool shit goes down.
To Roxbury. Hey, let me give you a little tour. This was where Malcolm X used to live at. This is where everybody's deli used to go. Like, you know, kind of giving people a landscape of what's going on and what was going on in the city. You know, shit like that.
Yeah, I mean,
that's what they do in other countries.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much to learn about Boston that, like, I don't think people are aware. And, you know, obviously there's a unfortunate stereotype and stigma around Boston being racist. And obviously the history shows that there's a reason why there is that perception. But if people knew more, they would understand that there's a lot of deep black culture in Boston. If just look a little deep. I mean, I'm Jamaican. My parents are from Jamaica. Boston is has one of the highest populations of Jamaicans out of all the places in the world. Like, it's Boston, New York, Miami, Toronto, England. Jamaicans ain't really going much where else but those places. So, like, it's been funny when people make those, like, misconceptions about Boston. I always throw these things out there. I'm like, well, do you know this? You know that? You know this? Well, okay, then you're just hearing what everyone else says. Yeah.
There's a foreign hub over here.
Literally, yeah.
Like, Dominicans, Puerto Ricans, Jamaicans, Haitians.
There's a lot of Cape Verdeans. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, for the most part, those are the most elite that I've known. And you know what I'm saying? Everybody else is kind of under, you know, like, not under, but not as elite when it comes to making money within the whole race.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
culture,
the Hondurans, like the Honduran community, we're big. We're more of a community of, like, unity. We're not more on focus on the money. We're more on focus, like, what do you need internally? You know what I'm saying? Food, support, shelter, love, you know? The money aspect is going to come with the jewels and the love that we give out. That's how our culture feeds. Like, we don't feed off like, yo, money. These other cultures have, and that's how they've been able to develop. Not in a bad way. I'm just keeping it a buck. Like, when I was younger, Jamaicans were popular, right? Yeah. Then Haitians been popular, but we didn't know. But Jamaicans were popular, and then all of a sudden, like, Haitians came out, they were popular. And then they started just being more popular than Jamaica, or just as popular as Jamaicans. And then all of a sudden, you realize that the Cape Verdeans were here all this time. Like, you know what I'm saying? So now you're like, they out in New Bedford, they've been popping. The problem is, it's a real hub out here. It's a real hub. Yeah. We had this conversation about Boston 2019.
Yeah,
this one seemed a little bit more sane than what I was the other time. We were talking about Bill Russell and all that. And it's true, he's still racist, you feel me? But hey.
Yeah. Rest
in peace, Bill Russell, see? Rest in peace, man.
R.I.P. Bill Russell, man. Absolutely. I think we definitely talked more about just like more of like the negative stuff with Boston and that aspect. And obviously we love where we're from, but we got to be honest about certain things.
I'm at peace right now. I'm at peace. Boston is a city that we as Bostonians, sometimes we have so much hate for it. We be like, fucking dog, Boston. But Boston is a great city, man.
It really is.
A lot of people say so many good things about Boston. I sound crazy being like, oh, that's how you feel about Boston. Boston, bad racist. They could be looking like, I don't know where though.
Yeah.
It's hard. You got to live here to actually feel it. And even if you live here and feel it, I mean, even if you live here, you're probably not going to feel it the way somebody who was born and raised is. Because we're like in trauma. We're in trauma from all the. We're stuck
like
in
the little microaggressions and stuff.
Racist. They be like,
yeah. Yeah, all the little microaggressions.
For real. Just like our parents used to tell us, yo. No bullshit.
Yeah.
So, it's cool, man. Be in town all day forever.
Always gonna be Beantown. I have a funny story I definitely have to say real quick. I went to Lollapalooza last year, and there was a guy who I told I was from Boston, and he was like, "Yo, man, I heard Boston's mad racist." I'm like, "Oh, come on, man, where are you from?" And he goes, "Mississippi." I'm like, "Bro, you're from Mississippi. How you gonna tell me Boston's racist and you're from literally like Mississippi, bro? Like, come on, man." Yeah. Like, and so like that's just the funny stuff. Like, why I say that is to say is that people just say what they heard from other people, and it just gets passed down and passed down. Like, exactly. I just feel like at the end of the day, people just be saying shit just because. I don't know. Like, people don't really like think of what they say. I mean,
it come from us because we talk negative about our own city. A lot of people, when you go to other cities, they don't talk negative about their city. Niggas in Boston be like, "Yo, fuck Boston. Boston whack." You don't hear niggas in Chicago saying Chicago's whack. Even though they have little murderers, they be like, "Yo, Chicago's it." Philly, Chicago's lit. New York, Jersey. These people do not demote their city. They promote their city.
Unless it comes to like locals, sports. If
it ain't sports, then that's it. The conversations kind of fade out, you know? The confidence got to be bigger. The confidence got to be bigger as a whole. We got to have a rebuilding mindset, you know, like how Nas did it, destroy and rebuild, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. You know, you've traveled a lot, man. And seen a lot of different scenes where you've been. I guess tying into what we're saying here about Boston, there's this I believe a common misconception that the Boston music scene, or at least the Massachusetts music scene as a whole, doesn't build each other up, doesn't help each other out, almost actually tears each other's down. What do you feel about the Boston music scene in 2022? The Massachusetts music scene in 2022? Is there anything you want to honestly say? Anything you would, say positively that you feel?
Positively, we have I
feel like we have a lot of talent, man. That's why I'm saying like it's so much talent.
I feel like because Boston is a melting pot and is a hub, it's going to be hard for us to develop that original sound again, right? So allowing people to be who they are, I think is helping our city brand out a little more. Because when we was coming up, Boston was just kind of like the LOGs and the hip hop boom bap, which we still have that here, but now it's turning to drill and just everything that's been new. And I'm not a fan of kind of where Boston has been looked at as musically, because it's not the sound, it's not the foundation that we developed throughout the time. But there's been some talent that's been able to emerge throughout those sounds. You got the Joyner, you got the beer, you know what I'm saying? You got Millie's, you got honestly, I didn't heard some other name. I think Van Buren, like
Van Buren Records.
Like, them dudes, Chilla Jones. 40 Bars. Honestly, there's a lot of people who got buzz that are representing Boston. So, like, for me, I'm happy. I'm excited because that kind of gives me a better opportunity to represent who I am, because the market wasn't really wide for us like that. Cousin Stiz, I was at the club with Cousin Stiz, Good Life Bar 2 weeks ago. It's funny because I went to him and I was like, "Yo, I never met you. I heard so many things about you. It's good to meet you." Feel me? Feel me? I didn't jam to a couple back. He's like, "Oh, well, I appreciate that. We took a picture, we vibed, that shit." You know what I'm saying? Cool like that. But I'm a fan of Boston now. I used to kind of be mad at us, but I'm not, because I'm happy for us. Like, that's where I'm at with it. And that's why I think my music, when it comes out, is going to come out from a positive side of things.
Yeah, man. No, I feel that, bro. Very well said. And I'm just glad you said all these things, because I feel like you and a lot of other people who are from here are trying to like bring down that common thing that's said. I hear it a lot, like, "Oh, Boston doesn't support other Boston artists." I'm like, why are we doing this to ourselves? Like, the tongue is mighty powerful. Let's try to change that narrative here. And,
exactly, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's already a stigma, so we're trying to like take that out. And like I'm my own pioneer, so I'm gonna try what I feel needs to be said. Other than that, if others beg to differ, that's an open market. I don't own this shit.
Exactly. Yeah, you just one dude in the game, man.
Exactly. So if I ain't say y'all names, Y'all, I seen y'all. There's plenty. I'm talking about the ones that are like have the market outside the city that people are aware of more than what we think. You know what I'm saying?
For sure. Like those are like the obvious people. Like it's
terminology, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. There's a lot. Yeah, there's a lot of artists, man. And I think I've even had to learn like recently a couple of other artists, like even outside of rap, where I'm like, oh shoot, they're from Massachusetts. Oh, like I had no idea. So like it's
word. Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. Jimi Hendrix from Seattle. You feel me? Like it don't gotta be rap. As long as
I mean, even if you look at just the arts, man, like comedy, like some of the greats come from Mass when it comes to comedy. You can just name Bill Burr and Patrice O'Neal. Bam. There's a bunch of others. There, I don't want to name more because I don't want to just, leave some out. But RIP's, Patrice O'Neal, but like those two are like insanely funny comedians. Like people like, take notes from those type of acts. So I always let people know, man, like Massachusetts is full of creatives, man. And
if anything, what we need to do, because I believe our ecosystem of hip hop in Boston, Massachusetts is cheap. We need to stop being cheap. I mean, I've been there too. I've been cheap with my career. I'll be real with you. Like, I had to start investing in different ways so I could start bringing value back to how I feel to me as an artist, because I was losing that confidence of the putting out things that I was like stuck with at that time. I'm like, this is it. Then all of a sudden, I just got the record sitting there. I ain't even shoot no videos. I don't know. It's crazy. Like artists go through. I mean, I can speak for myself, but like go through some emotional roller coasters, man. When it comes to like music and the feeling, and if I didn't drop it at that time, then basically that time is over. And it's
getting your
crazy.
Head a lot, man. I always tell people like. It's kind of blunt, but I always say like some of the most troubled artists are some of the most troubled souls you'll ever meet. Like I know it's kind of dark thing to say. Like I mean, I'm an artist myself. I guess I'm talking about myself too. But like we're very emotional people. We have a lot of things on our minds, and we operate in a certain type of way. And and it's just one of those things, man. But it's also why the art's so good. It's why some artists are so great. It's a weird thing that, on a psychological level, I couldn't explain as well as some other psychologists, but it's a real thing. It definitely is.
No, you're right. You just got to zap into who you are. I'm zapped into who I am. Like, not that I wasn't before, but like, I took the hardships and made a good time out of it. So,
yeah, man. No, that's real stuff, dude. I definitely got to ask you more promoter stuff. I got to know, man, is there a particular like great, like one of the great nights you've had? Like, is there one night you could point at as a promoter, you're like, yo, this party, this event is wild. I can't believe I'm a part of this event that I put together. Was it in Miami?
Miami definitely always. Miami's up there.
I've never been out to Miami in my adult life, man. I'm missing out.
See, that's why I went.
Yeah.
I'm 35. When I went, I went from 34 to 35. Like that's pretty sad. Like,
hey man, I don't know.
Adult, like nigga, you ain't never really been there. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm like, so I went out there 3 times in like 3 months, bro. And I was, it definitely got me open. Like, you want to boost your confidence? Go there.
Yeah, everyone tells me to go, man.
Dog, I'm telling you. I don't know. Like the people who don't see the good in it is because that's not their type of life. You know what I'm saying?
I feel you, yeah.
Like I don't know, you niggas be looking for wifey, but don't be doing it out there, you heard? Like stop looking for wifey out there. Like somebody's wifey is out there doing her. You know what I'm saying? Like you out here trying to wipe her up. Like
that was not my intention to go out to Miami. I'm going to Miami to have a good time and party
exactly.
it up. Yeah, definitely not looking for wifey out in Miami.
You know what I'm saying? Rent you a nice car, get you a nice Benz or something, or get a jet ski, or if you want to take Ubers, do whatever you like, but live it in the way where you want to remember that you want to come back, because it's always places and things that you never caught on to. There's only so much you can catch in those days. But Miami. I think one of the best event I can say hands down that I had recently was the Joel Santana event
Yeah, when, I remember you posted about that one. I was like, oh shit.
That one was big to me because that was during the pandemic when the day that I had that event, they were supposed to on, so it was like May 27th or May 29th, 1 or 2. Like May 23rd, Boston was supposed to put a mandate to let 200 people in the venue. So on that 23rd, I was like, word, the event's 27th, 29th is going to be 200. It ended up postponing it and then ended up making it the date of the event. So I'm like, oh my God. So like now I was lucky, like, because that night I had about like almost 250 people in the venue. And mind you, during the pandemic, for about a year and a half, nobody was really going out.
No.
The max that people could even be in the spot was like 50 people. People were house party. You know what I'm saying? Remember, there was a whole year just like that's what everybody was having pandemic babies and shit. You feel me?
Literally,
like
yeah.
all that shit was going on. So when I did that, it was a dice roll, big. Plus, at the time, Joel's really wasn't as relevant at the time. He just caught his case with the gun, came back. Not saying he wasn't relevant at all, but musically, we wasn't really like still caught up in him and stuff like that. But it still was the bang, and Joel's was solid. Shout out to Duke the God, Black of Dawn, his brother LaRon, his twin brother. Shout out Kim, his wife, because she helped get things operating too through email when I was hosting the compilation. She was sending all the drops for me and stuff like so. You can see that Joel's has a strong support system, So shout out to him for that. Just shout out Dipset and stuff like that. But that was probably that was dope. You know what I'm saying? And again, just being able to bring out Benny the Butcher, Jada, what is it? What's his name? What did I just say? Who are we talking about right now?
Joel's?
Yeah, Joel's, you know what I'm saying? My bad, the weed is hitting.
I wasn't going to say it. I wasn't going to say that, but yeah. I'm about to say it.
I was like, what happened? All right. But now, yeah, with Joel's, it's brought confidence into me as a person, not even as an artist, just a person. Like,
I can imagine.
These people fuck with me because I put money in their pocket and I'm about business. So when other people talk to me about this and that, I'd be like, bro, like, I'm saying when you're doing business to that kind of level and people respect doing that, but you're not integrating yourself with that kind of level of business, it's so hard to take criticism from people who don't invest in themselves enough to even be like, bro, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and that's something I can say as a promoter and as somebody who curated events and as an event planner who is a visionary and said, you know what, I want this to happen. Let's try this out. My budget is 5 bands. I ain't out here selling no crazy shit. You feel me? So it ain't like I'm out here getting it like everybody else. So like I really got to put my mind into saving that money and making this thing happen, making my money back. A whole process that's it's a lot, bro. Like if anybody throwing an event where you throw more than you can say $1,000 or two, but you throw 5,000, 7,000, 10,000, 15,000, you're not going to sleep regularly. You know what I'm saying?
No, not at all. Not at all. So that's a lot. That's a lot on the line right there.
Yeah, and there's people who put in more money, but at the end of the day, it's all about you investing what you get out of it. Yeah, and I got to gain a lot.
Yeah, and honestly, good looks on actually saying a number amount. I don't think people realize how much upfront money is involved with putting together like a legitimate event, putting together even just a promotion to promote your music. Like, it's always funny when people are like, how much money have you spent on promoting your music? I'm like, man, I've spent like $3,000 total on promoting X song or X campaign for whatever video. I paid this much money for a video. Like I always tell people, I'm like, dude, $2,500 for a music video is kind of honestly like to some people that's like the bare minimum of a dope video. The bare minimum. You know?
Yes.
Some people don't want to hear that though, but it's like until you realize that is what it costs to do this shit on a legitimate level, like top line, bare minimum entry. You got to spend that type of money. I'm sorry. You can try to blow up without doing it that way, but it's like,
and that's what I'm saying. I've been there. I've been there. I was being cheap. My 2 best videos is with Giant in Harlem when they all working out outside with me and in Mount Vernon. And then when I shot Bout Mine in LA. And the person who shot that video, shout out A+ Films, he shoots Nike commercials and stuff. So, he had Red Cam. So, that video wasn't cheap. the trip wasn't cheap either, you know. So if you think about it, I shot the video. We flew out to LA. Got to get an Airbnb. We got to get all these clothes. We got to do all that. That video for that song and that single alone was probably like almost $5,000.
Mm-hmm.
And if you ask me, people who know me will be like, bro, why you ain't push it as hard as you put money into it? You know what I'm saying? There's things that like it's crazy.
Yeah, and until people realize that concept, they got to understand like we are independent contractors. Like we're like you could always. I could always separate like the artists who are like pushing shit in a different way, and then the artists who are just like they're putting out music. Yeah, they're good, but it's like you're not doing the certain things that I've seen someone like you do. Like there's just certain artists. Like I'm just being honest. Like it's just like there's levels to this shit. Oh, I always say that to my listeners. Sorry, but it's real stuff.
It really is. There is, and mind you, that's chump change in the game.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. Like 5K.
That's tip money.
Yeah.
Crazy. Yeah, it hurts my soul. Every time I go to Miami, I'll tell you, we go to Miami.
I've heard some stories,
tight.
man. Yeah,
pockets come back tight.
Yeah, it's hard. Yeah, my good friend told me.
You ain't even tricking. You just trying to party all night. You know what I'm saying? Because like they party until 6 a.m. You know, so.
Yeah, my friends had some stories about Miami, basically saying just like, if you don't have a table, like you might have a good time, but you might not have a good time. And he was just basically saying like, probably best you get a table. Ball out. He's basically, he's saying it in a nice way. Ball out.
Throw some money into your look.
Yeah. Be ready for it, man.
Got you,
yeah, man. But we're definitely coming up towards the latter end of the episode here, man. So I definitely wanted to put a bow tie on this and ask you one more question, man. I feel like last time I had you on, it was so focused on you being an artist, and I didn't really talk to you much about a promoter. But this time around, I feel like I'm talking to somebody who's seen and done so much in the time that I last had you on and now. I gotta go back and watch our last episode just to see the difference. And everything.
I watched it.
I
just watched it recently. It was. I'm gonna have to start dropping some clips because I was talking my shit. Like right now, we chilling. Like honestly, this is a chill. This is an updated one. You know, this ain't even like we'll do one when I just come back from tour or when the album drop. How about that? Just don't bring me on into the album drop.
Honestly, no. Yeah. Well, I'll play that game with you, man. I have you on to your album drop, not till next time.
Yeah, you feel me? And then when you start seeing things where you're like, yo, you know what? I had to hit you up, Ace. Matter of fact, I had to hit you back up because I see this is what's going on and stuff like that. But yeah, man, just shout out to everybody that's pushing, man. Like this game ain't easy. It could deter you, it could take you out of your best mindset. Keep believing in yourself, you know what I'm saying? Failure is part of the option. Failure is part of the process, but it's not an option, you know what I'm saying? And the people who you keep around you, if you believe in them, sometimes you got to give them space so they can believe in you, you know? You got to tell them, I need my space, because a lot of times people oversaturate the people they love so much that they just in the way by default. And you as a person who knows what you want, you gotta clear your way for the people. Like I just say, grab life by its horns and get control of it. So just stay 10 toes, keep repping your brand, love your family. Man. You know what I'm saying? Smoke good weed. And stay alive, man. Stay alive. Rest in peace, Takeoff. That was that was I don't know, like I'm kind of salted about him dying just because I'm like, damn, like I always respected his aura and persona. So somebody killing him, I'm just like,
that's been on my mind all day today, man.
Yeah, I'm like, I was salted, like I was like, damn, like, PNB Rock, I was like, there's mad footage of him doing all this type of stuff. So I knew that he'd be antagonizing sometimes. So I thought that could have been it. But for the most part, like, good artists and all that. But Offset, I was like, man, I don't know. I mean, Takeoff, I was like, damn, it's gonna marinate. It's gonna marinate. It's not gonna hit right now. It's gonna marinate with time.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Yeah.
Rest in peace to all the people in Boston is just wild. And a lot of people have passed away this whole 2022. October has been crazy. Like a lot of people in Boston dying, just killing each other and dying. I don't know if it's over rap. I don't know what's going on out here, but it's wicked out here. So yo, keep y'all head up. You know what I'm saying? For real.
We gotta stay safe out here, and just got to continue to live our lives. Obviously, living in a sheltered fear can almost be just as bad as anything else. But
for sure.
Ultimately, just people just gotta stay safe out here, and moving.
Oh yeah, one more thing. Yeah. I manage a venue out in downtown. It's called the Montian. It's a Thai restaurant. I do events there called Famous Friday every other Friday. I done had DJ G7, DJ Volume. I just had DJ Chase from New York, DJ B Dog, and also DJ Flex. Moving forward, I got 2 events coming on November 18th and November 25th. I just did an event with Heavy from True Era Entertainment. Shout out to the homie there. But November 18th, 25th will be my next bench for Famous Fridays. Cool. Just come out, try out the amazing Thai food. Restaurant's been around for 35 years, officially Phantom Gourmet approved. A1, right across the street from the Moxie Hotel, right next to Bijou, right next to Rock and Ride. Make sure y'all tap in, Ace of True. Follow, show me what you got. Follow, show me what you got. Promotions. Follow me, Ace of True 617, ACEDA True 617, and follow the Monty in Boston online. And follow my guy here on his podcast.
Yes, sir. That's your boy right here, y'all. Obviously, follow me at AmirMax1. If y'all don't follow me, it's your first time listening to the TempahZone podcast, that's where y'all can follow me. Also, follow me on Instagram at TempahZone podcast. Y'all know the deal, man. Ace, I didn't even ask you, man. What's some starting advice for promoters who are just starting out, man? What's some advice you give them? Yeah, that was my last question. I just forgot.
Starting advice. Put a budget for what you're going to do for promotion. So automatically, because a lot of people don't like putting flyers out, get you some flyers. Get you online, get you like at least 1,000 flyers at least. Second, keep your budget for just like paid advertisement online. Mm-hmm. Keep your budget for your DJ. Keep a budget for the venue. And keep a budget for just in case shit don't go right.
Mm-hmm. So basically, if you're trying to be a promoter, have your money, right?
Yeah, you feel me? Just it takes less than 1,000 to throw an event. You want to throw a solid one, for you to try out what you about, and then you'll start to see like how much more money you need to invest in certain areas and stuff like that. If you need some artists, that's not a word. Artists, singers. I know what you meant. That used to be a bad habit when I was like, 5-7 years ago and stuff like that. It was trying to get me, my vernacular's got to be sharper with time. Mm-hmm. But yeah, Joe, keep a budget for that and have a team. Me personally, I right now don't have a team, but I have supporters. So I just try to make sure my supporters that I already work with stay in tune with me as I look out for me. But I am building a team right now. You will see my team when I'm on tour. I do have a cameraman, Still L, Aperture. You know what I'm saying? I got a couple people that promote for me. But for the most part, show me what you got. We're a community. That's what Show Me What You Got is. It's a community of promoters or event planners. It's not just me. Because I can't throw the event without shout out to the venue, shout out to the DJ, shout out to the artist, shout out to the vendors, shout out to the people who share the flyer. Like, it's a community thing. I'm being a buck. So, yeah, everybody get their flowers.
Yeah, straight up, man. Yeah, you can't do it alone. You really can't. Straight up. Yeah, that's great advice, man. Honest advice, true advice. And I think anyone who's trying to step into that lane will definitely listen to those words you just said there, man. Ace the Truth. Thank you very much for being on this week's episode, man. I'm really glad we got to make this one happen, man. Seriously.
My guy, you ready, man? I appreciate you. You have a great night. Just stay focused on the game plan. And I know we're supposed to get a track 2019. I'm going to push. Aces out. So yeah. I'll be tapping in with you. I need that feature. I need that ill ass. You make alternative hip hop.
Thanks, man. Yeah, I'm with that term. Hey, I'll take over the alt hip hop scene if I gotta. I'm all good with that. I'm all good with that label, man. Absolutely, dog. I appreciate that, man. Seriously, we're gonna link up on the music tip, man. Absolutely.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You'll hear from me, brother, man. Stay blessed, though. You ready?
Absolutely, y'all. Have a good one, y'all. Enjoy.
Please.
Peace.
Yes, sir.